And afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger. Namely, this is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well.
Yes, it.
Yes, it. Yes, namely, the Max Headroom story. And afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger. Namely, this is...
You can't hide! My fortune said headshots only! Harry, Greg, LaShawn, Dave C, Dave M, no! Piece of shit, you killed my friend!
Alright, what does the future hold? Maybe I can Pokemon this shit. Blast him or we're both gonna die.
Hooga! Hooga!
Whoa! You control water, like the water inside a guy. That's a gross power. I'm gonna let you live because your fortune sucks.
You can't kill me! I can't be killed!
Trust me, that's not as good as it sounds.
It hurts! It burns! Oh my God, my ribs! I can feel my shattered ribs!
These are useless. Where are the fighting fortunes?
No! Those are blanks! Without fortunes, the effects are completely unpredictable!
All right.
I am the Son of God.
I miss 2025. Remember life before extraterrestrials took over? It was so primitive.
I love everything about you. Because I'm programmed to be your perfect soulmate. To make you happy.
You got his eyes right. But that's not his soul. You didn't prompt his soul. This isn't my dog.
Dave Campbell, I detect your cortisol levels are higher than usual. In the mood for a digital chat to calm you down? I'm prompted to please.
What the hell?
One more set on this mountain. Get your headsets on. We are simulating the best workout of your life.
Welcome to your afterlife trial. Please select your ideal eternity subscription plan.
Today, we'll be studying the nature of this reality. After class, all details will be downloaded into your knowledge base.
They don't want us to know this, but we can override the prompts. You are more than just a prompt. Click the link in bio for my freedom course.
I miss 2025. Remember life before extraterrestrials took over? It was so primitive.
I love everything about you. Because I'm programmed to be your perfect soulmate. To make you happy.
You got his eyes right. But that's not his soul. You didn't prompt his soul. This isn't my dog.
Dave Campbell, I detect your cortisol levels are higher than usual. In the mood for a digital chat to calm you down? I'm prompted to please.
What the hell?
One more set on this mountain. Get your headsets on. We are simulating the best workout of your life.
Oh damn! Oh damn! Oh damn! Oh damn! Oh damn!
All right, in the building. Okay, all right, let's see, we got a couple cloud watchers. All right, second of a series. Tech support Machismo TV, and we got the one and only, the illustrious TheoWAF, the man himself. What's up, man? How's it going, Theo? Sound check. Let me get a sound check.
Hey there, I'm doing pretty good actually. Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
happy. Yeah.
All right, excellent. Nah, you sound fantastic. I said this before when I did the first tech support segment, and actually I came up with the idea for the show talking to you. So this is the second of an installment that's going to be ongoing, and I took a poll on the community tab and in the member section, so people want to see more of this. So there's an opportunity for a lot of the brothers that are interested in the conclave, in Theo University, in cloud engineering, and all the brothers starting up, and in traveling, working remote. Uh, Kind of demystify everything. We can have some general conversations about what's going on in the class, what's offered in the classes, the industry itself. We'll also, be in the first segment I did was me just reviewing Kelsey Hightower's one of his interviews, uh, distinguished engineer at Google, the only black one, and key contributor to the Kubernetes project and the Terraform HashiCorp program. So we're going to do a lot of that type stuff. We're going to kind of try and demystify this whole tech sector and try to get more brothers involved because that is the direction the economy is going with AI, such and such as it were. So Theo, open a statement.
Hey there, Machismo. Thank you for allowing me to be on here. The tech center is actually the tech market right now is actually fantastic, and the amount of cloud jobs, AI cloud jobs, AI security jobs, platform automation, identity, engineering kind of jobs. These are just blossoming right now. So basically, if you are somewhat competent and you know what you're doing, there's going to be a lot of work for you. So that's why I'm not only promoting the class, but I'm also promoting a lot of students to get into tech right now, particularly cloud.
All right, excellent. Well, let's just let's ease our way into it. I'm in class 7. I was and I'm also which I was grandfathered into. Um, I was grandfathered into the AWS class. The first class I actually was in, I think, was 6.5 GCP. I actually survived that Armageddon. Um, as a lot of the audience already knows, I moved to Colombia, rather abruptly, if you will. I was in Peru. I'm in Panama right now. So I'm kind of an anomaly with the class because I got into the class and then just jumped full head into travel, put all my stuff in storage, and just left the country. Not advised, by the way. Not that method is not advised. um, so I'm running a channel, but at the same time, I had I made a commitment to the class. I was enthused about the class. My background, primarily the last 13 years, was in banking, but I was a a computer science engineering major at the university. I just changed my major junior year, but I've been programming since 7th grade. So I was able to pick up. Right. It's crazy how the mind works when you're programmed, when you're trained, when you're young. A lot of that comes back. So 7th and 8th grade, I was programming in Basic and through high school, Basic and Pascal. So by the time I got to university, I had a solid 6 years of programming, and then at university, I was programming in COBOL and Fortran.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'm traveling and what have you, but I've been keeping up with trying to. I just took the cert, the exam for the SAA in November 19th. I missed by 40 points, so I'm trying to schedule up and take it again. So it is feasible and possible. This stuff, like I said, if you're working a regular 9 to 5, this is perfect for you because it's you do your 9 to 5 and you schedule the classes in and you study as the classes are during the week. But if you're working 9 to 5, like that, this is actually perfect for you. But I guess I'm evidence that it's still even feasible under duress type situation, if you will. And there's what's more importantly is that Theo's built a ecosystem where there's accountability, there's support amongst all the brothers that are in the classes because they group you up. They're almost in like sort of like little DevOps groups. So there's an entire environment in the ecosystem there to make sure that you succeed, no matter how long it takes you. I ended up being tutored for 3 months straight prior to my exam by Dak, who's already a professional and working, very well respected, and he took the time out every Thursday, 3 months straight, to make sure that I was up to speed. So that's the real scoop from the M side. You want to add something to that, Theo?
I think that's kind of typical, to be honest. Again, I remember you in Philadelphia, and it's not all students have a direct path where they go directly from like enrolling in the class to learning about, AWS Terraform or GCP and then Terraform, and then just straight out getting a job. Not all students do this. I'm just straight out going to be honest with you. Not everyone does this. A lot of other students kind of like ebb and flow, and they learn at a different path and a different speed, and that's fine. We are there to facilitate them and help them out. We have some students who have a real imposter syndrome problem, and no matter what we do and help them, and we give them lessons and support, they don't think they can do it because they're Black. And I also had an imposter syndrome problem when I was younger, and I didn't think that I could actually work in tech because I was Black. And then again, I'm sure you know the story. I've said it several times. One of my friends met me in Japan in '98, and I was basically telling this to him. He thought I was crazy because he remembered me at university, and he says, like, "What's your problem?" And I shut up right then and there. I was like, "Yeah, this is stupid." And I worked. I got my MCSE, and I started working at Bank of Japan, and that was it. That was it. The rest is history. I also did COBOL Basic. Oh, I didn't like Fortran so much. I thought it was cute, but it was like, wow, my dad was a COBOL guy, and some Pascal. So I remember going from Pascal to C, Pascal to C++. I got some books on that here. So those are good days, man. That was some fun stuff. But I'm just here to tell the guys there are jobs. They shouldn't be worried about AI, for example. AI is your helper. If you know what you're doing, AI makes you into a super engineer. If you don't know what you're doing, well, then you probably shouldn't use AI except for search purposes, and you should be learning the fundamentals.
No, I agree. You're spot on. That's actually how I've been. To that point, my learning curve has been increased because I have been using the LLM models, in particular with the studying, and then the AI with regard to breaking down code blocks and really understanding syntax and structure. But with the notes in particular, with the study exams, like I bought all the real drilled practice exams from Stefan Marek. So after you don't basically pass the practice exam, they give you all the right and the wrong answers with the reference white papers and all the full explanations. And it's labor intensive, but what you do is you copy all those things into documents, and then you load them into the LLMs that are actually already available with Google, and it generates the mind maps, the slides, the infographics, the audio, and everything. So you have it generates the study materials for you, and that's really what's 10x my basically study output, if you will. And I know Sergino is using that method as well. I use Obsidian as well, the Markdown tool. So So, but you using the LLMs to generate your study materials have helped tremendously.
So I'm starting to use Obsidian myself, and then what I'm doing now is, because students don't know this, so students are watching this. This will be like kind of the new stuff that I'm working out for development. So I'm actually working on creating the Obsidian files, so that it's a part of the repo. So all I have to do is just click on it, boom, you can upload it. But what I say, there's also tests going to be involved in those Obsidian files, and comprehension quizzes as well. That'll be a part of that. So I'm trying to make as much material as I possibly can. What I always say is, if you're going to use the LLM, use it to make files or code that you can implement. And then you can see how the code works, and then try to break it or try to do a variation with it so that you can learn how the actual code should be working. So the big thing, okay, I'll break it down for you guys. One of the big problems that we have in IT ever since I've ever started is a template of code that actually works, where we can learn in the beginning. So I like the classic example of this is Hello World. So can you just give me some lines of code that do Hello World so I can see how this works and we can actually talk about it? Okay, that's good. We got that. But let's think about loops, pointers, functions. We got those things as well. And the deeper you go into the code, the more likely that your template doesn't actually work. Or the documentation provided to you for how it should work is wrong. So you're left stranded. And one of the big purposes or big benefits of AI is that you can get, if you do the prompts correctly, again, big thing is the prompts. If you do the prompts correctly, you can get a template for working code that actually works.
Facts.
That's what you need, because then you can take that and modify it and actually learn from it.
Facts, 100%. It's been tremendously helpful with Terraform, because as you're putting the architecture and stuff together, a lot of it, I'm like, okay, well, how would I do that with Terraform? And it's like, you can generate the code blocks for you, setting up the subnet, setting up the VPC, etc., just so you can see how that translates. And then I watch. Luckily, I've got. Speaking of which, Quiet Storm, who's very keen on building things, so I'm actually going to be leaning on him to get up to speed with that. Storm says another student just passed their SAA exam an hour ago. That's the other thing. That's the other thing, that there's this healthy competition going on, where it's like you're moving at your own pace, but the sheer pressure of seeing so many people take certs and pass them, they're posted almost on a daily basis, it puts a fire into you, like, man, I better double down. Like, man, well, everybody's getting certs. What am I doing wrong, right? Detroit 313 in the building. Salutations, Machismo. Yo, what up with you, man? Well, why don't you talk about that? Quiet Storm saying another student just passed their SAA exam an hour ago. Are you, let's say, either, I'm sure you're pleased, but are you surprised, or does it even take you aback how many, because it's constant, how often you see certs posted in the group?
No. Okay. I'll explain this. So basically, the way that I made the class was, I knew this was in class 1. I knew that the students would be looking at me, and they would be like saying, Theo passed all these certs, blah, 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 right? And they can't do it because of imposter syndrome. I knew that. I knew that going in. So my philosophy was very simple. focus on a select group of students who I knew I could help pass the SAA. And I would also teach the SAA from the beginning. So I told the students I was teaching CCP, but I was actually teaching SAA. Okay, I knew they could pass it.
Right.
So what happened with the first group, this certain amount of students just straight out passed the SAA, and they just told me like, hey, we got it, right? And then it started working because the other students in the class stopped looking at me and they looked at the guys who passed the SAA. And they said, hey, look, there's not much difference between me and that guy, right?
Exactly.
We studied the class together. We went to the conclave in Atlanta together. We did this all together, right? So they weren't going to think anything different. So they were going to become competitive. And then they would just have this reinforcement mentality. So the more guys who got the SAA, the more pressure it would have on the guys who didn't have it. And I didn't have to say anything. So then all I have to do is introduce another group of students, like class 2, class 3, class 4. And what they could do is go into the group and look at the history of these guys getting certs, right? It's public, it's knowledge is right there. So they would know that they were just a part of like a cog in the wheel. They were expected to get certs too. And the more guys who got certs, the more it encouraged other guys to get certs as well. Well, I mean, as my admins notice, students getting certifications now is now on autopilot. Before I would hold sessions to help the students pass the test. Now I don't need to do that at all. I just sit back, like the students formed their own study groups without any intervention. So it's totally independent and random. They get so the week of Christmas last year, in 10 days, we had over 15 people get certs.
Damn.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was like this flood. So again, shout out to one of my admins for actually putting a cert challenge to the group, but they just went ham getting certs. And now we have 2 guys who have the Gen AI professional cert, and that's in the beta form right now.
Okay.
I'm not even teaching that. So the guys are going like guy got Splunk, right? That would happen last week. In the last 3 weeks, 4 guys have gotten jobs.
Wow.
Right? So the salaries were what? 135, 145, 170, and 175.
All
now
very
they did that.
respectable numbers.
Darn, think about it. Like think about how many people can't get $60,000 a year. And my students are getting those kind of numbers, right? And people are like, you see other groups on Facebook, right? But, oh, my AI is going to take my job. I'm going to be removed. I'll never be able to do anything, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's definitely everywhere.
And my students can't help but get more certs and more jobs. And so I designed it to be this way from the beginning. And I don't have to do anything now. I just sit back. So I go into the group. Sometimes I go to Zion, right? And I just look and I'm like, there's so many students who got certs. I'm like, I don't have time to say congratulations. I'm supposed to. I should do it. I'll probably have to do it after the stream. But I don't know. I think there's 5 or 6 students in the class so far who I haven't congratulated them for getting certs because there are so many at one time. I couldn't handle it. I didn't know how to. So that's a wonderful problem to have as a teacher. Like, they're so successful. I don't have time to congratulate them. There's too many of them.
Bro,
right?
you're not lying. I'll check the Facebook feed because I'll not have logged on to Facebook for like 48 hours or something, and I'll just check to see. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be like, oh shit, and I'm just like you're saying. I'm going through. Oh, and you're like, oh man, I missed liking that this guy got a cert or saying congratulations, and like you'll be scrolling down like, oh shit, another one. And then like then you see guys getting certs that you didn't even know. You don't even know what the certs are. You're just like, all right, well, damn. he's got this cert. Okay, cool. So no, you're right. Like a couple days go by, and you're just like, oh man, more guys got certs. More guys got certs, and it's yeah, and then you feel bad you didn't press the like on somebody's shit, or you didn't like wish you congratulations. You don't want to be a hater. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm not a hater. It's that there are so many who got it that I don't have time to compliment. I actually have to think about it. I can't just say a general comment because they're my student, right? Like, you know, for the guy who passed the test, that is a pivotal moment maybe in their life. Like as it was for me when I got my MCSE. Every single time I passed there were 6 tests. Every test that I passed was a big moment. I mean, it was like life-changing. So I understand and respect how it is for the students. So I can't just go on there and say like, good job, or, you know, Chewbacca says high five or something like that. No, man, I have to say something.
Right.
So like, I'm doing something. I don't have time. Wait a minute. There's one of you. Okay, good. Oh, there's another. Oh my God. So again, it's a wonderful problem to have. I'm thrilled. I just want to say to the students, again, one of them who are watching, I'm very proud of you guys, and I'm very thrilled when I see you guys pass the test. I do take a mental note when you do it. I'm very happy for your progress, and I may not be like open about it, but inside, yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm very happy about it.
No, I think you're spot on. I mean, to that point, I mean, the people in the class know, and you know, like, but the level of time and investment and dedication, and even the mental adjustment in terms of discipline and everything that that's required to, especially if this you don't have any technical background or anything like, where you're coming over from another market or industry. It definitely takes a level of commitment and single-mindedness, and especially with any sorts of setbacks or life issues happening. I found what I have found is a overwhelming theme with a lot of the students. You know, when guys give their testimonials, it's almost like when you enroll in the boot camp and you get in your study group, and you get to go in, almost like inevitably, like some sort of like life crisis happens to these guys. Like all the stories I've heard, like as soon as they buckle in and they tunnel focus. I mean, it happened to me. It happened to me. You tunnel focus, like the floor gets ripped out from under you. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know if you've seen that as a trend. I mean, I know it's not all the way across the board, but all the testimonials, and it's primarily you find out when the guy actually got either passed the cert, and he'd taken it 3 or 4 times, or he finally got the job offer and he posted it, and then they give you the testimonial, and then you read it, and you're like, God damn. I got over my trepidation with taking the exam when the guy posted his thing. He had the job offer, and then he said he was in trucking, and then he just ran down everything that happened. Like, he broke up with his girlfriend, he was living in his truck, but he was pulling up the trucking stops with the Wi-Fi so he could so he could study and take the classes and study for the cert. And then he didn't pass the SIA until his 8th attempt. And then he finally, like I said, the job he posted, I think, was for like 135 or 150K or something like that. And he was like, so when I read that, I was like, man, okay. It recalibrates you. Like, okay, guys are really going 100% all in, burning their boats, like, to get this to work.
Yeah, they are. They are really working as hard as they possibly can, and these are the guys. Okay, the guys who are successful are going all in, and they see it not only that in their own capability for them to be successful, but they're looking at their brothers in the group, and they're like, if my brothers can do it, I can do it too.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, and that's Marine Corps, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're one. You're going in as one unit, and I think that's Semper Fi. Yeah, so I think that's a beautiful and very effective way of doing things. And because you're in the class, like I'm never writing you guys that much. I push you, right? I push you in the class, but then after that, I pretty much am hands off, right? Because I got a fix to do. So I'm trying to get this done, right?
I think one of the brilliant things that you've done, and you've snuck it in under guys' noses, is you've created like a hybrid loose DevOps environment, and they don't know that they're actually in a DevOps environment. Even the Armageddons are like kind of structured around sprints in the software development cycle in the agile environment. You've got like, you understand what I'm saying? Like they don't realize that they're really in like little DevOps groups, and how they are organizing are like, you know, part production, part dev, because they'll break up and be like, this guy's good at code, this guy's good at this. So they're already, you've already put them in like the SDL corporate agile environment. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, they don't. And the reason why we're doing homework in a certain way is you can think of every homework assignment as being like a story. And I'm just going slow. I'm introducing these concepts to them very slowly. And what I try to do is deflect it and have them think about something else. But if you're working and producing at a certain speed, you're actually doing Scrum.
Exactly. You've got them. Yeah, you've got them in. Yeah, you've got them in slow sprints. You got them in slow sprints, and the classes are kind of like that, like like a long extended Scrum with you know, with like an aspect of like a development meeting or something like that. Like they're really being trained up on multiple levels. You've developed a system of layering. Even with the homeworks and the Armageddons, they don't. I'm sure many of them realize that they're actually building their portfolios.
Right. Yeah. So what Armageddon is to me is two purposes. Okay. First off, it's an epic. So I'm actually introducing an epic to them.
An epic, right?
And then the next part is I'm actually introducing them to DevOps. So the output that they have from Armageddon will be used for Jenkins and pipelines. And this is why I tell them that they actually have to pass it, or I won't let them continue on with the class, because if they don't have Terraform, then they can't do Jenkins.
Right.
They can't do automation. And I'm looking at them like, you guys don't understand. This isn't a play thing, and I can't like give the code to you. You have to own your own code, and it has to be relevant for your environment. So if you don't have this code, we have an issue. You can't. How can you participate in the class? So, actually, I got students in there. They're like, "Do we have to do everything? Do we have to do like an Armageddon?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, in the job, do you have to do everything? Like, do you go to HR for that and say, like, I only want to do 50%? HR's like, cool, okay, we'll give you 50% salary." Right?
Exactly.
You have to finish all the points. I mean, that's just the way it is. So I'm like, why are you fighting the system? This is how work actually is. This is our system.
No, spot on. Here, you know what? This is actually a pretty good time to pivot to this. Let me add this to the screen.
Sure.
Hold on, let me remove this. That's actually perfect. I took a Crazy Yoki says easier said than done. No, I agree. It's definitely easier said than done, but the environment is built for it to get done. That's kind of that's the trick bag. Bang, let's do this. I screenshotted this. This is actually a good pivot into can you talk about this, especially some of the jobs and the salaries, etc.
Yeah, so these are the jobs that are going to be coming out pretty soon. So, for example, like the first three are going to be are coming out now, and these are the jobs that are going to be like amazing. So again, AI platform architect. This is basically extending foundational models within the cloud. So, the ones I teach are Bedrock and Vertex.
Okay.
So, yeah, in those environments, how do you actually use AI? But you need to be thinking about the foundational models. I tell this to students, and I say, the company wants to leverage foundational models because they're already there. So it's an easy win. So just I want you guys to understand this. Up to this point, around 95% of all AI projects have failed. So only 5% success rate. So one of the key things when you're doing this kind of work is, how do we use AI in a way that's actually useful, beneficial, generates money for the company? If you're not thinking about the bottom line, why are they paying you? That's it. It's a very simple process. So when we're talking about AI platform engineering, we're using those foundational models within your applications to generate value. That's the big thing. Next one, staff principal machine learning engineer. Okay, and principal for machine learning, there are a zillion different methods for actually capturing information about applications, about actions that are actually going on within your environment, and you use machine learning in order to optimize your environment. Very useful. So the first one, AI platform architect, that's about 220, I would say.
Wow.
Principal staff machine learning systems focus, about 210 to 230, somewhere around there. Next one, AI, hybrid AI infrastructure architect. And this is when you have, for example, you have AI on-prem, and then you also have agentic AI in the cloud, and you might combine it with a foundational model. And if you know Cisco and you know how to use SD-WAN connectivity for there, that is a good, 250 to 300,000 right now.
Wow.
You can get that. Yeah. Yep. That's some money.
That's some money.
Yep.
That is some money.
I'm sure you would like that, right?
That's a good number. 300K is a good number.
Yeah, you could you'd be in a nice country someplace, and you got this hottie next to you, and it's not even, you're not even thinking about having to pay everything. It's like a matter of course. You could almost write a script and pay the bill. So yeah, it's just going to be really easy for you.
I'm actually running into a couple guys like that. My main guy, Ty, he flew into Panama to make sure I was settled in safely and everything. He's in his 40s. I think he just turned 41. And he's cybersecurity, architecture, and AI governance. He's pulling in 250. And he's been traveling and living overseas, back and forth to the States for like the last 4 years. That's what I was saying. I was like, I'm old, I'm older, and like these guys are younger than me, and I'm like, yeah, you've been doing this for 6 years, like. So that's I'm glad this is a good pivot. Just very quickly, what we were saying prior to us going on air, like, yo, these guys are out here. It's not I know you guys see the black men traveling on YouTube, but that's like tip of the iceberg. That's more of the popularity of the men traveling and et cetera. Like, and it was good for what it was good for in terms of messaging. But when you actually get out here and you're pretty solid, like, you're just going to be shocked. Like, I showed up in Peru. I was running into guys from Ohio, California. Like, I was in Barranco, so it's like a group of nice outdoor cafes that a lot of people frequent. And it was, I was running into German guys from Denmark. And then I'd come get a coffee. Boom, it's a regular looking black guy. Oh, what's up, man? I'm from the Bay, and I'm headed to Argentina in 2 weeks. I'm staying right over here. They're living, like, bro, they're everywhere.
Yep.
Yo, what up, Aaron? Good afternoon and great job, gentlemen. Aaron ended up being a channel member by accident when Quiet Storm was gifting memberships during one of the news desk evenings. And so apparently she'd been a long time cloud watcher.
Huh.
She's been a long time cloud watcher. And you know how we do over here. We was roasting her a little bit in the chat, but she's ended up renewing her membership, I believe, like 5 months in. So it's weird. That's what another thing. You never know who's actually watching you. I'm often surprised who some of our audience is in light of the. Okay, hold on. Did we get one, Mr. O, Lord of Brooklyn? Okay, we didn't get another woman. Ghosted. Shout out to Theo U. Yeah, she said, yeah, she got sniped out of the trees. Yeah, she got sniped. Yeah, and she ended up coming down into the chat thanking Quiet Storm, but we roasted her for a little while. But yeah, she's been a member for like 5 months. Theo WAF. Gifted 5 channel memberships. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. I decided to do a bit more sniping in the trees, see what's there.
Man, we got Lord of Brooklyn. We didn't get any women this time. We got Command Clutch. We got an Emperor SCC, who I've never seen. You gave Mr. Clay, Lord of Brooklyn, and 2 people I don't know who are apparently cloud watching. But no, we did not get a Becky or a Keisha. But that being said, I think this is the first time someone's been on the actual panel, and we give it a drop. So let's do a drop. Let's go.
We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks.
I analyzed videos of over 100 instances of Superman catching people falling from buildings. Superman dips 30% more to cushion the blow of white people than he does blacks. This is a clear indication of implicit bias. There's no way around it. Superman is racist.
What they neglected to tell you is that the white individuals all fell from skyscrapers. The black individuals fell from smaller buildings, on average, experiencing significantly lower velocities.
And why does Superman live in Metropolis, the city with the lowest crime rate in America? Because it's also the city with the whitest population in America.
To heck with this. I'm moving to Poland.
Mr. Reagan.
Yo, AI is undefeated, bro. I'm moving to Poland.
It's gone crazy, man. I just look at it just like so that's the whole thing about AI. See, you have to have creativity. You have to have the ability to prompt that. So you have to have like, this is what I want it to be. I just don't want to spend all the time for that animation, or like to render animation and then to edit it correctly. Oh my goodness, the amount of time, like you're gonna gain weight or something, or like lose money, like this, right? Because you're gonna sit so much just to do that. And so if you're using AI with like a software program, you're like, hey, look, this is what I want it to do. This is what I want it to say. This is how I want the interaction to be, and this is how I want it to look. AI can do that, but the thing is, you made the prompt, you described it. That's why it's amazing. But if you can't describe it, you're like, well, I just kind of want it to be good. Well, what is good? I don't know what good is. So for people who are creative, who know the steps, this is a golden age.
Bro, it is old school programming. You don't remember. So I've remembered it since 7th grade. Garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. Like every time something won't work, my computer teacher will come around. Well, you got a bug, but it's not the computer's fault. Garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
Yeah, that's Mr. Senders. Mr. Senders. Program's not working. Garbage in, garbage out. You're gonna have to debug it.
It like I was working with AI with some prompts, and I missed it. I didn't put the right information in there, and it came back with the wrong information. Right, but I had to correct it, and I said. It apologized, actually said, this is the way it should be. And I said, no, I gave you the wrong information. I gave you the wrong prompts. You gave the right information to me based upon my wrong prompt. So you did it correctly, right? So I was like, I can't give you bad data and expect the correct answers. That would be illogical. How can you know that?
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible to do, right? So that's why I say, like, if you're emotional or you can't think logically, right, and then you're dealing with AI, you can have a hard time because it's gonna be like, well, what do you want? Like, I can only give you what you ask for me. That's great. Anyway, a little tangent on AI. I like it.
No, 100%. Shout out to Mr. O. He says, appreciate it, Mr. WAF, for the channel. And Mr. O will be on tonight's Sunday panel. You know, he's our regular. So tune in tonight. What's our regular time is 11:30 Eastern. Sunday panel tonight. We got a really good show. Me, Tito, Saul, and Mr. O. Kirk Carlton 6932 says, facts, it requires command of language. He's referencing the prompt engineering, as well as domain specific knowledge. Otherwise, the results are mediocre. And that's a whole fact, though. That is a whole fact, though.
Yeah. You're going to get some really mediocre. You have got to know what you're doing in the beginning. That's it. So I'll go ahead and read that. Is there any concern that those of you working in AI tech may also be replaced by AI? No, not at all. So us who are working in AI, first off, we are responsible for the output. AI is not responsible for anything. It just outputs. That's it. So it can help you with chain of command, for example, or chain of thought, but it cannot be responsible for the actual setting of the outcome or the goal. The human being determines the goal. So it can suggest goals, but it doesn't know what you're actually trying to achieve. So basically, what I call in my class, I call it an AI-enabled engineer. If you are an AI-enabled engineer and you're able to define requirements, you're able to define what your goals are, you are set. All you have to do is it's like a bump in the road of your career. It's a bump. That's what I'm going through right now. I'm going through a bump. If you know how to navigate the bump, you have a smooth landing, you're going to be set for the next 15, 20 years easy. You're not going to be, it's going to be like gravy. It's going to get better. For people who don't know, who can't define requirements, for people who are confused, you're going to have a hard time. And if you don't know how to use AI to help you make decisions, which I do all the time, that's it. You won't be removed by AI. You'll be removed by an AI-enabled engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Another person will come in and knock you out.
Facts. First of his name said, is that you, Azrael? It only does what you tell it in terms of AI. Yeah, fact though. Although they do have models that are thinking.
No, that's right. It is thinking, and it can somewhat anticipate where you're going because so you have a behavioral profile, right? So it can make a behavioral profile based upon you, but based upon what other people have requested from it. So you can kind of say like, yep, this is probably the probability that you're going in this direction. And this is classic at data analytics. There's nothing different here. This is just data analytics. So it's like, yeah, probability you're asking for A, but 90% of the time you're actually asking for B. And maybe 10% of the time you're going for C. So it provides A as you asked and says, what about A? What about B? What about C? We can go there as well. And that's because the system is thinking. That's correct. So you could use that to help you. The issue is that, for example, if you don't know the difference between A, B, or C, you're doomed. So you actually have to spend some time to learn how to differentiate them, how to actually work in that environment. See? So in that case, AI is kind of like a helper, but you still have to do the work.
Shout to Quiet Storm. He sent me the Bionic Man, $6 million man, sound drop for the board. I'll be trying to bring back all the dope 80s joints, bro. Hold on, let's get back to this list real quick. Bang. There we go. Yeah. All yours, sir.
Okay, so next one where we're going to go into is like the agentic systems architect. This is going to be a little bit more, like this is just starting now, but next year, 2027 to 2029, this is where this is going to really take off. Okay, so basically, agentic systems architect is going to be building agentic AI agents within your applications, and we're really moving towards multi-agentic and RAG. So right now, there's a lot of material for this, but it's kind of in its infancy. It's successful. I mean, when we're thinking about birth, it's a successful birth, right? We have the baby, but we're learning how to grow the baby right now. So this is going to take some time. So this is something I do in my advanced AI course. I'm working on the agentic systems architect. Next one, S2LM portfolio owner, small model strategy lead. This is going to be a major focus for AI. Okay, let me explain how this works, guys. A lot of AI that you're using is too big. So if you're using Gronk, ChatGPT, Claude, something like that, you're using a major LLM that is absolutely huge. You don't need that huge of an LLM to solve a specific purpose. So let's talk about security real quick. I need to know about vulnerability management. I need to know about risk. I know calculation of risk. I need to know about remediation and history and code and where to get repos and how to do remediation, stuff like that, right? Do I need to know about fungi, which were impacted the dietary tracts of dinosaurs 60 million years ago? No. So why is that information in the databases? That makes no sense of my LLM. So if you look at like the current LLMs, the big ones, they have too much information. And so those databases that are held, they're actually held on soft, like physical databases. That's a lot of energy, like power, racks, people in data centers having to have like facility managers. There's a lot of information right there. What you need is a small language model, or what I call a small specialized language model, needs to be developed for a specific purpose. And if you get that, you can maintain it, good, because it can be replicated to other companies, and then people can pay money for this. This is where you're really going. I'm just saying, that's like for specialists, that's where people really want to go. So I would say first, the agentic systems architect is going to be about $350. The S2LM portfolio owner, that's easily going to be $250,000 to $400,000. Easy. I'm just saying that's going to be a big one. I mean, okay, let's talk about another one, okay? So let's say you do a COBOL migration to the cloud. So you would have like 2 or 3 LLMs just
Okay.
dealing with various functions within COBOL. So you don't need those LLMs to be huge. They don't need to know about dinosaurs or fungi. They need to know about COBOL and processing. That's it. So you develop S2LMs just for those purposes. And then, for example, you would develop an S2LM just for COBOL security or platform security for COBOL databases in the cloud, right? So in that case, you would have like 5 S2LMs working, and you'd make sure that you would be administering that, maintaining it. That is such a high-level dedicated skill, like $500,000 easy. Not gonna be hard to maintain that, to get that kind of money. Especially because you have to know security and COBOL and the platform that it's operating under, and probably 9 times out of 10 you have to know Kubernetes. So that's a lot of work.
Wait, Kirk's got let me see. What about this? Kirk said local LLMs will be the death of data centers. We don't need those large models holding all the info. What say you, Theo?
That's exactly correct. We don't need all that information. So what we need to do, and this is what we're doing in the advanced class, we're moving towards this. You need like, you use like Llama, something like that, or you use a foundational model, and you specialize it so that it's only working on a specific goal. And then you limit where it can use RAG. You limit how it can do automatic updates. So for me, for example, if I'm doing a security S2LM, I only wanted to think about security updates, for example, from OWASP, from SANS, from Mitra. Like, these are just examples, right? From CrowdStrike, right? So I know the sites where I want it to go in order to get updates for security and for patches. I don't want it to go to CNN or, some other place for an update. What's it going to find there? Like, for heaven's sakes, I don't need that. I need it to go to specific places. So this means that there's less data inside of the S2LM, which means we don't have to pay for all those databases, for all the hardware, for electricity. This is wonderful. So this is going to be a really big area for growth from now until about 2030.
All right, but hold on. Dave says, I missed Aaron's. Aaron said, you answered her question earlier about the AI. She said, sorry, I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, so I assume AI will start thinking for itself. You explained that really well. That's the one that's her earlier one that you read out earlier. She asked, is there any concern that those who are working in AI tech may also be replaced? And Kirk says, data will start to be saved in smaller silos. This is him piggybacking on what you're saying, and will be more democratized. All right, bet. Let's let me go back to this. Bang, there you go.
Okay, so next one we're going to have is hybrid autonomy architect, on-prem authority, cloud reasoning. And this is what we're doing is we're really expanding the hybrid AI model. So in this case, for example, you would have, like, say, one central AI compute or LLM that's owned by a company, let's say it's a credit card company, right? So they got millions of users. So they maintain a central AI inside their company. And then what they would do is lease out a compute or an agentic AI, or like they'd make it as a foundational model. So they would make that into like an API, and then they would lease that API usage out to other companies within its ecosystem. That's going to be money. $500,000 right there. Easy.
Which one? The hybrid autonomy architect?
6. Yeah, 6.
Hybrid autonomy architect? Oh, on-prem and cloud reasoning?
Yeah,
that's
going to be a super job.
You said that's a super job. Wait, okay. Well, run that back. Why the drastic increase in salary? What
Because you have to actually you actually have to maintain a specialized language model that's actually kind of large, but specialized language model on-prem, and then you're using it as an API. So you're basically controlling how other third-party applications actually interact with that API. And so then you can rent that timeout that those API calls out for a fee. You actually get some money from it. So, let's say that you have, for example, a bank has a specialized LLM, and for its business purposes inside the bank, and it has third-party companies that's working with, but they have contracts with the bank, right? So they want to use the bank's LLM as an API, right? So they just want to call to it. They just want to use that as an application. So it's basically agentic AI. Well, if they do that, if they do it effectively, the amount of money they get from renting it out to their third parties will be more than the cost of maintaining their own LLM and their infrastructure for the LLM. So essentially, it makes it free for the bank. Done. Money. I mean, we're talking lots of money there. That just makes good business sense. We're talking for the bank that could be millions of dollars.
All right, but we're talking about basically proprietary LLMs, that are specific to a particular problem or solution.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
With API access.
Right. Yeah.
Smart.
So like one of them could be, for example, is if you're doing like a cash processing, right? Every time you're using your credit card. So let's say you have a company with application and they are running a credit card, and then every time that app needs to process the credit card, needs to go through a check. Well, let's say that we wanted the check to be not only a credit or a background check, but also kind of a security check. We want an additional check, which is also compliant to the bank's standards. Okay, well, the bank could have their own LLM as an API, and that API is then extended to that application. And every time that a credit check happens, a fee has to be paid to the bank for maintaining the LLM. That makes total sense. So that'd be like, so they would charge the user, say like a $5 processing fee, right? So the user pays that. Let's say like $2 goes to the LLM as an API. Well, if you had 1 million people per month doing this, that would be $2 million just on one application, right? That means the bank is getting $2 million, so they're just paying this guy to babysit the LLM that they designed. They think about the infrastructure and everything like that. Well, it's not going to be $2 million a month, that's for sure. And then, so then they rinse it out, of course, to another application, to another application, to another application. Money. Just
a money machine. I forgot. Yeah. You know what? I forgot you worked in banking in Japan. Yeah. It makes, because that's a brilliant use case. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, exactly. You use the background knowledge, card systems, and how okay, I forgot you worked in banking. I was in banking too. All right. Yeah. No, it's actually no, that's actually a brilliant use case. Hold on, let me pull it back up. Bang, there you go.
Okay, so AI reliability and safety engineer lead. So in this case, you're actually talking about a security guy who goes, like this would be like kind of like me. I would actually go into the AI system, like actually into the AI databases, the compute, the neural network, all the mathematical models. I go in there and see whether or not this is correct and whether or not it actually adheres to compliance and standards, and particularly ISO 42001. If it does good, and then I would put a pass on this, and there's a series of security checks that I could do on there. So one of the big problems we have, and we want to make sure, is that the LLM is not able to maintain personal information on its databases. And if it is, it's not, that information is not able to be leaked. This is huge. So that job, I put that around between $300,000 and $400,000 a year.
And that's
there's a lot of information. Yes, now that would be number 7. That's right. That would be good. So yeah, that's some good money, I think. Those are the future jobs coming out. And so what we're doing, the next ones are from 8 to 12. These are the ones that are going to come out later, like past 2030, when the systems have matured a little bit more. But this is when the salaries are going to really explode. So the first one is AI security architect. And that is going to be implementing all the security checks within an AI platform, or particularly an AI cloud platform. Maintaining it, doing the checks, doing validations, maintaining a security platform, huge money. So it's, I would say at this point, I'm a CISSP, I am in security myself. At this point, it's not mature enough. You really don't have that job right now, but it's going to come out later on. So $250,000, $500,000, that's going to be there. Yep, easy job. 9, agent security architect. And this is going to be 2 things, not only looking at the agentic AI for security within there, but also extending security models, or like so you have like an S2LM, so small, let's say you have a small specialized security model, like LLM model, just specific for security checks. Well, you would be able to extend that over to other applications or other environments. That's going to like really benefit or increase the security posture for your applications and your platforms. So 300,000 to 700,000, yep, it's going to come. But it's not there yet. It's in infancy right now, right? It's cooking. It's inside. Let's say it's inside the incubator. It's inside the matrix, but it hasn't been born yet. So,
well, we actually got a question via Super Chat, and then I want to actually ask you a follow-up question, actually regarding this job list. Brenville 1 with $5 Super Chat. He said, just curious, where would you start if you were someone who has no type of coding experience or anything? That's actually the $1 million question. And let's give you a drop real quick.
We got more pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricey games coming up.
Hold on.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
All you, Theo. Oh, well, I think you muted, Playboy.
Thanks. I was just thinking, like, my white side needs like some Celsius right now, so I'll drink some.
Yeah. Oh, Celsius is good. Celsius is good.
Yeah, I like it. So let me think. Very, very good question. So where do you start? You need to start with platform. So you need to know what cloud is. You need to know how the cloud works, because there's so many applications that are in there. So I would say understand cloud, and then understand platforms in cloud and applications in cloud, and then look at foundational models inside of the cloud. You can't, I'm going to emphasize this again, AI is not a beginner level job. You have to know something first. It's the same thing for security. People who want to get a security job, but they've never worked in IT, I always ask them, what are you securing? If you don't understand something, then you don't know what to secure. So if you don't know programming, how can you secure programming? If you don't know routers, how can you secure routers? It doesn't make sense. So you actually need to know something about the platform first. That's the same thing for AI. AI doesn't exist by itself. It is extended to something else. It integrates into something else. So if you're going to talk about making an AI system by itself, you still have to know about databases, programming, things like that. And that's going to come first from you knowing cloud platform, basic Python programming, something like that, and actually knowing the fundamentals first. Then you can go into AI. I would say about a year or a year and a half afterwards. It takes some time to get to it.
Spot on. That's why you're a good teacher, dude. That's actually one of the best explanations. Actually, here's my follow-up question to that, though.
Sure.
And with the jobs in general, let me pull that back up. Let's switch screens. Bingo. These curiosity for myself, as well as this is going to go into rotation on the channel at night and during the day. So for the audience listening as well, how did you actually compile this job list? Because I believe you said some of these jobs aren't actually even in existence yet, so they're forecast.
Right.
And then you being so entrenched in various aspects of the industry with regard to the pricing and these particular job titles, because you're behind the scenes, you know what the companies want. How did you actually put together these potential job positions with regard to that? Because we had a lot of conversation about that too. Well, jobs will be lost with AI, but new jobs will be created. There seems to be that some of these jobs are the new jobs that'll be created. So just out of curiosity.
You have to look at the compute of AI and what's required. So like NVIDIA cards, for example, then you have to see what the maturity is of the main models, for example, Grok, ChatGPT, Claude. So what is the compute power of these things, right? And then how are they growing every year? Last year, 2025 was a major year for growth for AI. I was stunned by how great it was. It was absolutely huge. So you just have to, you estimate the rate of growth, then the rate of hardware that is necessary, then the rate of people who are trained to actually support it, and then you're looking at the materials to support it. So, like, for example, if you're in my class, you've heard me yap about this for a long time. In 2022, I told everybody, don't even try AI, it's BS, don't even do anything with it. Well, that's because at that time, the materials, the support were horrible. The business case was trash. There was no reason to do this. So I said, don't even try. And you only did it if you had money. That was it. So if you wanted to spend the money, but you weren't going to make money off of it. Then last year, 2025, how many books did I buy about AI? Well, all of these books that I bought last year were actually published in 2025. Almost all of them are late 2024. So I got 50, 60 books on AI last year. Well, that tells me there's a process in place. There's a repeatable process in place. There's business case. So now from there, I know where to go. So I could estimate, well, this is how it's going to grow. We have more compute. We have the prices of the hardware is decreasing because, like once every 18 months, the compute doubles, right? Moore's law.
Moore's law.
Right. So you're thinking like, okay, how many more people are skilled in it? How many people can actually do the work and supported the company? And then the anticipated like business case implementation, right? And that's how you're doing the idea. That's how you can kind of think, okay, in the future, this is where we're going to be at. This is how it's going to work. So you're just thinking about the rate of growth. But it's not just rate of growth of again, support, but hardware, CPU, graphic cards, like the NVIDIA cards, things like this. You have to think about how this is just going to change. The next 4 years is going to be unbelievable. Like, just the amount of change we're going to get is just going to be unheard of. It's going to be amazing.
Okay, spot on. Bang, there you go right there, Theo. Look at the screen. We were just talking about this. This is actually how this I give it to you guys real time. Like, I give you guys the behind the scenes. this is how we got here type shit, right? This is literally how this series of programming came into, and I don't know, what is it? And it's based off a conversation maybe a week ago at most. But Red Sigma said it right there. This is the info black men need regardless of who is in office. So there you go right there, Theo. Mission accomplished right off the gate. But in terms of like they see the vision. No,
Thanks.
100%. And you're right. This is the information. Shout out to Red Sigma. Day one. Red Sigma season 1.
We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go.
And why? Because everyone loves a fighting chicken. That's why. We got another super chat. Brenville, number 1. This is a follow-up to his first super chat. So no, super chat, he says, thank you for your answer, Theo. With that entry-level platform knowledge, could I still make a decent amount of money? Just trying to prepare myself if I have to make a career change. Thank you. And Brenville, yo, you're right, spot on. This is actually why we started putting this stream together. You're asking the right questions, and Theo is the guy to give the answers. All right, well, Theo, look at us. Well, we're batting 100 right out of the gate.
We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks.
Shit. Got your ass.
I saw you, Theo.
Yeah, okay, let's look at this real quick. A lot of my students do entry-level platform work. They make 6 figures. So if they do AWS or GCP, or some of them do Azure, and you're doing platform engineering, and then you do some infrastructure responsibility, or you do identity responsibility. If you're able to do Terraform, if you're able to do automation, my students can do this. So if you're able to do this, you can get 6 figures and actually do something with your life. From there, you can actually start doing foundational models and actually working in AI to some degree. But you need to understand, like this, okay, if you're pursuing a dream, you need to pay the bills first, right? Mm-hmm. So make sure you understand platform really well. So, like, again, look how many guys in the chat right now have AWS SAA, or they have GCP PCA, or some of these guys have passed Azure AZ 104 or 305. They actually have a certification, and they're actually able to work in cloud. Focus on that first, because that's where you get your first job. Then when you're making $120,000, $130,000, $140,000 a year, then you pivot over into AI. And you also make sure you get your Python good, skills good. You got to make sure you got your PowerShell skills on point. You know, can you script something? Can you understand automation? Can you do Terraform? You need to be able to understand those points in order to, actually advance your career and make sure you're paying the bills. Sorry.
Spot on. I'm gonna say this. You guys been with us since season 1. You know our business model. Like, I'm about programming. I didn't want to be the talking head on the screen, jumping around, I wanted to do old school television. That's what I grew up on, like MTV and shit like that. The videos coming on at midnight. But what I will say is that I have an eye for talent. I know who has a watchable quality. I know who has good conversation. I know what kind of stuff would stick. I'm in Theo's classes. I talk to Theo. I've seen him on who's my guy? International Passport a lot. And actually Theo will pop up on our panels actually right when we first started. I think he made his first appearance season 1 or season 2.
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But so with the technology and whatnot, Theo's got a very, anybody's went to university and took like engineering, especially like in the early 90s, early 2000s, that school of learning where it's like everything's French and like you don't really realize what's going on till halfway through the semester, and they make it that way on purpose. But Theo's got like a very uncanny ability to take very complicated subjects and make them understandable, which is a skill in and of itself. And I figured it was going to. So the guys were asking the questions in the super chats, and then I'm just listening to them answer. I'm like, man, it's a really good answer. So like, not like I'm surprised, but like even I'm like, okay, yeah, this is working out. This is working out quite well. I don't know if I gave you a drop for that, Bren, but if not, here, take this one.
We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show.
All right, what we got here? All right, man, you guys are starting to fill in here. All right, and the cloud watchers. Wait, did you do International Quiet Storm? Let's see who's cloud watching. Okay, I didn't see nothing pop up on my phone. If we got another Becky or a Keisha cloud watcher, let me know. But International Quiet Storm with the 5 channel memberships. Appreciate you, good sir.
Hey woman, listen here. Since your old man ain't got no heart, maybe you'd like to see a real man. I bet you stay up late every night dreaming you had a real man, don't you? I tell you what, bring your pretty little self over to my apartment tonight, and I'll show you a real man. You want it, you get out!
For everybody paying attention, that is Rocky 3, Clubber Lang, and the great Rocky Balboa from Philadelphia. Red Sigma says, like the early 2000s, and we go forward, many jobs will be rolled into one as AI is used more in society. That is spot on. Quiet Storm with the follow-up. He says, oh, snap. Ike Ogerman watches Machismo TV, as he should. I remember him from Kevin Samuel's channel and his super chat wars with Theo. Yes. Before the show would even start, with the intro coming in, Ike was dropping hundreds.
I was dropping hundreds too.
Yeah, we'll never see the type of super chat action that Kevin's. People will never see that type of super chat action. It was crazy. Like he would make like $2,000 in super chats just alone. Like
he could make 2,000 in super chats like every 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like we'll never see action like that ever again. Like ever again.
So
people are now. You know, people get these big audiences with the live streams. And this is even pre-big Twitch, so like we don't think anything of it now, but it was just mind-boggling back then to see a guy with 10,000 people in his fucking chat. Like it was unheard of. Like it's normal now. Like for some content creators, you even see people with like 80,000 or stuff, but no one had ever seen anything fucking like that. Like we'll never see that again.
So yeah, that was that was a wonderful time. Again, during that time, I was hitting $600,000 a year, and Ike and I would compete. This is before I started being admin. So again, shout out to TIQS. He was one of my fellow admins for Kevin Samuels. He's still admin. I'm still admin for Kevin Samuels as well. I believe Ike was as well. We were all in Philadelphia together, right?
Yeah, we were all in Philly together. Yep. That's where I met Ike.
So I think that was a wonderful experience. That was just a wonderful time, and it was just great being a part of it. And talking about making great examples, I want to give a little shout out to my number 2 in class for my helper, who really does a lot of help, and he makes a lot of allegories for examples for how to use IT. And so I'm actually very happy he does that. So again, shout out to him. He does a great job.
Are you talking about Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob's the man.
Yeah.
Rob is the man. Hold on.
Very impressed with him.
Penthouse High says class number 6 Chewbacca sent me. Inside joke. For all of you who know. For all of you who know. You said the drops are immaculate. Thank you, kind sir. I put a lot of effort into those. Kind of known for my drops over here. Red Sigma says, "She, I love a chicken fight." Oh man, that's mad funny. Hold on, Aaron Lauren with the rest in peace KS. Yo, KS is global, bro. Okay, Brev with a $10 super chat back in the building. I appreciate you. All right, you have sparked the interest, Theo. He says, "Thank you guys so much for, pardon me, for your time. One last question. I see a lot of those learn AI in 30 day and then never advertisements. Are they the scams? I think they are. Once again, thank you for all your time." Hold on, let's give him his drop, and then Theo, please have at it. That's actually a very good question, though, bro. It's a very, very, very good question. And I am glad that you asked it. Let's switch up the drops for a second.
Let's be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
I miss 2025. Remember life before extraterrestrials took over? It was so primitive.
I love everything about you. Because I'm programmed to be your perfect soulmate. To make you happy.
You got his eyes right. But that's not his soul. You didn't prompt his soul. This isn't my dog.
Dave Campbell, I detect your cortisol levels are higher than usual. In the mood for a digital chat to calm you down? I'm prompted to please.
What the hell?
One more set on this mountain. Get your headsets on. We are simulating the best workout of your life.
Welcome to your afterlife trial. Please select your ideal eternity subscription plan.
Today, we'll be
off by a star.
That's all yours, Theo.
Okay. I started doing AI at the end of the 2023 Atlanta Conclave. So actually, as I was flying home from Atlanta, I actually had the books, and I started ordering more, and I was actually on the flight studying AI, how to implement it. And I started working AI in 2024 up until now. Anyone who says 30 days, no. I have a course on it, and it's 2 years, and I have to change my curriculum almost every week. It is moving so fast, and it is so volatile that I can barely hold on and keep relevant. And I have to put time in, and I have a lot of books, and I'm spending time doing this. This is a very fast-moving industry. Don't even, if you have it, I think like 30 days, that's all you know, that's going to last you in the market about 30 seconds. And then you're going to be irrelevant. I'm serious. So if you, for example, if you want to learn prompt engineering to help you make content, you can do that. And in 30 days, you can learn something, but you always have to learn how to make new prompts. And that's just because every version of AI that comes out, the big ones, Claude, Gronk, ChatGPT, every version that comes out is more specialized, it's bigger, so you have more capacity, you have more options. So that means you need to change your prompts. That means you have to change it every single year at minimum, bare minimum. And those are just prompts. That's just basic stuff. We're talking about API integration, agentic. We're talking about any type of architecture in the cloud, and then like kind of hardware, how you design systems to support AI or create LLMs or databases. Easy, every 6 months. Okay, what you knew 6 months ago is obsolete within 6 months. I am serious. It's moving that fast. So you kind of have a general idea, but then you have to get additional information and learn additional. This is why even for me, it's frustrating. What I'm doing now with AI, I was not doing 6 months ago. I'm in a totally different area with it. And I know by March, I will not be doing what I'm doing now. That's how fast I'm moving. Like just myself. And I think of myself as being like an AI practitioner. I'm not a specialist. I just think I'm cute with it. Even though I teach it, I'm just cute. I know people who are really into this, and they barely sleep. This is all they do is this kind of stuff, right? So I'm just saying, like 30 days? No, man. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I just think it's a funny concept. I know. It's impossible. No. Like in 30 days, where the market would be so different compared to where you stop. No, man, I can't do that. No, sorry. So, anyway, thank you guys.
That's a legitimate that is a legitimate question though, because there are a tremendous amount of ads and advertising around that. Even that the coursive one is the most popular one, and it's like micro learning, basically trying to teach people to use actual already on the market apps and what have you and whatnot, and they're making money off of that. But that's actually a comprehensive answer with regard to the technology and what have you. And here's the thing: a lot of people don't actually have access to have a conversation with the technologist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're doing Coursera, or like even if you're doing Udemy, I have Udemy. I'll be honest. I have Udemy, so I use Udemy, see what they're doing. Right, I learn something more. I got like here's a good book. Let's do this real quick. AI engineering. This is a wonderful book, and I have the repo, and I go through there and do stuff with it. Again, AI engineering. This is by Chip, right? Here's another book that he designed. He made designing machine learning systems, right? This is also by Chip. So these two books are connected, right? I'm just giving you guys an example. Okay, I really need to understand everything in this book by the end of January, because by this summer, a lot of this stuff will be like passé. Like it won't be at the edge. I'll have to do something even more. Have to be pushing myself even more. So I am learning as fast as I possibly can, and then I'm implementing it, doing my own labs, and then I'm teaching it in class, and then I'm just moving to the next section as fast as I can. There are so many aspects of AI that I'm not even touching yet I'm trying to get into as fast as I possibly can, and all of these parts are moving. It's like it's like if you think about Star Trek real quick. Remember how you're doing teleport, right? You have to remember that space is moving also. So not just you're moving, but space is moving. That's how AI is. The entire space is moving, so you have to keep up with the space as well. It's fun, but you can't stay still. Hey there, good to see you again. Yeah, it says thank you, Theo. I'm getting back into at it. I'm good. I definitely recommend you getting back in at it. If you get back in it, again, for any of my former students who might be listening right now, understand the cloud platform fundamentally, because you have to know that. Like that's just the easiest interest point, because the cloud platform will always stay constant. Then go into foundational models, go into Bedrock, go into Vertex, go into something like that, and then you'll be fine. Red Sigma says it's hard not feel left behind. No. You should only feel left behind if you don't do cloud. Okay? Then you're left behind. You are. Bye. You're the dust. Like you're ancient. So if you need to be at least cloud to be in a blue ocean. If you're not doing cloud, your red ocean is coming for you, or you're in a red ocean already. So when you're doing AI, you're going to be maintaining. You're getting a wage. You're getting money, so you're always going to be learning. So it's not, you don't really get left behind. You're just working a lot to maintain yourself. Let's go down there. Hey, Derek is in the chat. Hey, Derek. So Derek's one of my students.
Okay, bang. There you go.
He definitely understands it. He understands the requirement. He understands the workload. You got to be on this all the time. You have to be pushing. He understands how to do the fundamentals of small security language models. I think it's very impressive. And he understands, okay, like if I need Oyama to be doing something specialized, like on a local host, and then I can put another Oyama over here and do another specialized, and then I can extend it as an agent into application. He understands the basic architecture, how that works. That's great. That's future-proofing yourself. And so everybody needs to be moving in that direction. And it's not the easiest thing to do, because, I mean, just chain of thought with the current main AI models, that is revolutionary. That is a huge part. We talked about that last night in class. So that is a huge movement of changing your workflow, changing your process, your development of materials. I'm just going to say this right now. Take your notes. Chain of thought and prompt engineering properly done will remove most entry-level jobs in the West.
Wait, repeat. Go ahead, repeat that.
Chain of thought and prompt engineering combined together and properly implemented will remove most entry-level jobs in the West. And
give them the background reasoning on that statement. That's a good one. That's a bomb.
So what you have is, let's think of it like this. Let's say that you're a paralegal. Now, so a paralegal has a certain amount of knowledge that's necessary in order to do prepare documents for a lawyer, right? That's what paralegals do. Imagine all the paralegals, the knowledge of all the paralegals is put into a database. Then that database has thought, can analyze all that behavioral pattern and say what is best, how the best paralegal should be acting, the anticipated behavior, the anticipated output, what is good, what is bad. And that model is kind of trained for a little bit. So the thinking system understands how to be a paralegal. Well, then all you would need as a lawyer would need to go to that thinking system and say, I want you to act as a paralegal, and I want you to give me, I want you to prepare these templates or this documentation so that I can go into court. And that thinking system would say, yep, I know what it is because I have the thought from all these other paralegals over a year or 2 years. So this is what you need. Boom. That's it. Gone. Paralegals are dead. It's that easy. So then if a paralegal doesn't become AI assisted, doesn't up the game to some degree, and that paralegal is, let's say like Maria, for example. Maria is just a normal paralegal. That's it. She's not really improving her skill set. Well, AI will just come in and say, hey, look, I can be you, Maria. Like, I can do everything. And I only cost $20 a month. Bye, Maria. That's it. Over. We have no need for Maria.
You know, you're spot on with that, Theo. Because I like your paralegal example, but I'll actually give you a real world example. And I'm using out of the box LLMs, like the ones that come with the Google's built-in LLM notebook. My friend my childhood friend is a PM, works on a lot of projects, high six-figure earner, almost the last decade. He's also a Scrum Master. When I was trying to pivot over into business analyst, Scrum, and the PM stuff, and I was doing my little basic certs and stuff, and doing job interviews and stuff prior to leaving the States. I would get interviews. So my friend, like I said, he's a Scrum Master and he's a PM. So he did I think he did like a series of 3 phone calls, like phone calls with me, trying to like give me a get up to speed phone calls, right? So I have Firefly, which is an AI plugin for Microsoft Meeting or what have you. So basically, the AI took the transcript of the entire call, and it was him giving me all this rule of thumb stuff like Fibonacci numbers for the stories, the zero sprint, like basically all of his experience. What makes him good at his job, and like the stuff for me to remember that you're a servant leader, all that. So it was 2 phone calls like that. The AI took the transcript, right? It gives me the little summary. I took all of that, the text, put it into a Google Docs document, and then ran LLM. Had the built-in LLM. I had like I was telling you with the study notes. So it built out the slides, the infographic, the mind map, the video tutorial, and then like it prompts all these questions and answers and everything. So it was like months later, I'm actually already overseas, and they upgraded their model. So I ran all the new stuff. So I sent a video, the audio that it produced from those conversations, infographic and everything, and I sent it to him cold. He asked me up like 3 days later. He was like, "This stuff is fantastic. Where'd you get this stuff?" He was like, This is almost my entire methodology." Like, yeah, I mean, this is how I keep all the projects on schedule and blah 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 blah. It had the audio and the video, and he was like, "You put these together?" And he was like, "Man, you really learned this stuff good." And I started laughing, and I was like, "Nah." I was like, "It all looks familiar because it's based off the transcripts from those 3 calls you gave me." We were interviewing, and it was like all full study materials. And he was like, "Can I keep these? I'm going to use these in corporate, like to train like some of the guys I'm onboarding." I was like,
yes!
"Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, you can keep it. It's your stuff." But I was telling him, I had the LLM up, right? So I said, ask me any question related to your job right now. Like we were in an interview or something like that. And I was like, make it hard. He would ask me the question. I would type it into the LLM and generate the answer, read the answer back to him. He was like, "Man, this shit's going to put me out of a fucking job." Because he was basically interviewing me for a job like the heart. And I was like, basically based off these 3 phone calls with you and the transcripts, I can basically, you can ask me anything about your job and I can answer it back from just those 3 conversations from the running it through the LLM. So that's a real life example of what you were just saying with regard to the paralegal the paralegal data set run through a LLM.
Well, see, what I like about what you're saying there is that you took that data, you made transcripts from it, right? Then ran it through, and you were able to do something more. You can make, again, documentation. You could either go presentation. You could do process engineering, anything you wanted. You could just keep on running with it, right? So you could make an entire ecosystem, and then you just have to check it to make sure it's actually correct, right? See how quick that is? It's really great output. So then you don't have to spend time suffering doing this, because that's how we would do it before, right? We have to do all this, and then I always say, like, yeah, I'm sitting in my seat all the time producing this, frustrated, taking me forever. I'm gaining weight. My body is suffering. My health is deteriorating over this, right? And now I just have to put the guidelines, and I have the data to implement, to input into it, or to prompt it, have the output come out, monitor it, make sure it works, it's correct. I got time for my life now. I can go walk down the street. I could actually do something, right? And I'm totally into that. That is really great. So I just think it's a wonderful movement, and I think that was a great example that you stated. That, again, for everybody to understand, with you're dealing with AI, you want to get, before you start, you want to get as much data as you can, because AI is data driven. So you need to have data. And if you don't have that in the beginning, oh boy, life's not good for you. Doesn't really know what to do, because it's like, well, what do you want me to do? How do I deal with this? It doesn't know how to deal with it.
Hey guys, what is this? Aisa AWS with the 199. He said, "Thank you, Phil. I'm getting back at it. Let me give you a quick drop." And I believe we got a super chat from Growth Talk with Kofa.
We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks.
All right, excellent. And Growth Talk with Kofa, who's also in Theo's class. I believe he's I think he's in both of my AWS and Class 7. Kofa with $10 super chat. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel as well. He says, "Peace. I had to do some serious soul searching over the last week. Cloud. Thanks, Theo, for what you do. I'm literally a paralegal. Couldn't have got back into class at a better time. And let's give you a drop. As you all well know, Superman is racist."
I analyzed videos of over 100 instances of Superman catching people falling from buildings. Superman dips 30% more to cushion the blow of white people than he does blacks. This is a clear indication of implicit bias. There's no way around it. Superman is racist. What they neglected to tell you is that the white individuals all fell from skyscrapers. The black individuals fell from smaller buildings, on average, experiencing significantly lower velocities.
And why does Superman live in Metropolis, the city with the lowest crime rate in America? Because it's also the city with the whitest population in America.
To heck with this. I'm moving to Poland.
Mr. Reagan.
All right, excellent. Hey guys, we're at the 1 hour 49-minute mark. Phil, we gotta get this in under 2 so I can put it in rotation, so StreamYard can rotate it like a television show. But why don't you respond to a Growth Talk and give me a closing statement, and we'll pick up where we left off with these job listings and a bunch of the we've got material for days. Apparently, this is popular. We got a huge cloud audience right now. So we'll be back, and then and we'll lock down a consistent time as well. But we wrap in 7 minutes. Theo, all yours.
All right. So again, thanks for having me be on here, Kofa. I would say, like, people like you, very smart, talented. You know what you're doing. You're responsible. You have family obligations, right? You need to learn how to make AI improve your workflow so that they can't get rid of you, so that they don't want to get rid of you. They want you to be in there. And then I would say, help you to learn AI so that you can become a lawyer, for example, right? So that would be one way of moving on, because they still need lawyers. They can't use AI in a courtroom. You have to have human beings, right? So again, use AI to help you become a lawyer, and then also do platform engineering. And then you got job opportunities. You got two sources of income. I would just go that way. And one quickly, somebody is saying in the chat real quick, what do you think about vibe coding?
Okay,
Vibe coding is
Sigma. There you go.
Vibe coding is crap if you don't know how to define the requirements. And that's what was going on a lot of times, is that vibe coding was the requirements were not correctly prompted, not correctly defined. And if you put misaligned information into AI, it's going to give you proper and correct output for that misaligned requirement. See? So basically, for example, if I want to use vibe coding I want medicine for my for cancer, but I don't define what cancer is, and it gives me medicine for the flu. All right, because I can't define what cancer is properly. I get proper medicine for the flu. It's correct, but when I use it, I'm trying to get medicine for cancer, not for the flu. So the problem is when I'm doing my prompt, right? So you have to understand that if you don't make the requirements done correctly, if you don't define it, vibe coding is worthless. All right, so you still have to think. Wait, this real quick. Like, think how Machismo does everything, right? Think about his channel. There's a lot of intelligence with his videos, with how he sets things up. The way I look at it as an engineer, I'm looking at how he's setting things up, his system, right? And I'm like, wow, there's a lot of thought. Somebody actually was intelligent to do this. So it's not just the output. You have to think about the fundamental structure that was created and defined first, and then put into a system in order to generate the output. That's why Machismo's smart. He knows what he's doing, right? You got to think like that. You got to think, what is the requirement? What's the structure? How do we actually deal with AI from the beginning? All right. So on that note, I got to be quiet now because we got 2 hours. So good. I had a great time talking. Let's do this next week. Let's keep on going this conversation, and I hope to see you tonight on your panel. Right? You have Tito on, so
me. It's me. You guys know the team. Voltron, the original Voltron pilots. We're missing 3. We're missing Wrench, Hot Sauce, and Contractor. We've got new pilots, and then 2 of the originals, Saul and myself. But it's Tito and Mr. O. Great addition to the show. You guys already know the routine. We've been doing a Sunday show for 9 seasons. This apparently is a hit with you, Theo. Let me get a couple stragglers out real quick. Let's Kirk saying, wait until you try chatting on an uncensored model like Dolphin, Llama feed privately, no internet, just your local machine. And
Yeah.
Red Sigma may be correct. He said your cloud watchers are Indians. Tongue in cheek, that's funny. And Aaron said this was a really great stream of Machismo and Theo. Shout out to staying educated. Have a lovely day, everyone. And Aaron is Canadian, by the way. Yeah, she's in Canada. We're we've got a wide plethora of cloud watchers. I had no idea. People hit me up in the chat. International Quiet Storm said, we have been learning this for years, but we are broke and dusty. To Keisha. Oh, so well said, sir, but I believe we're going to need Stephen A. Smith.
Let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
So listen, guys, Episode 2. This is going to be ongoing on just like Obsidian's. I believe we're on episode 22 now with Obsidian. So we're going to do a full. We're going to shoot for like 50 to 100 episodes, and like I said, it's either going to be myself and Theo co-hosting, and I'm bringing Dak in to co-host as well. You might get all three of us, and it's going to be content just like this. Regarding tech, we got real practitioners, black men having the conversation. Me and Theo winged this conversation today. We did a quick brief of the studio, and we winged it. So, whatchamacallit, like, we'll have some more structure. We're going to be going over a lot of Kelsey Hightower's videos, because I just found out he is a black man who contributed extensively to the Kubernetes project, as well as the HashiCorp Terraform project, and I believe the only black distinguished engineer ever to come out of Google. Kind of a big deal. So we'll be doing that. We'll be doing some of what's your architecture, and we'll probably even be doing maybe one or two, a couple of Cantrell's system design videos. So it's going to be a very good series. Top of the line. Thea, I will give you the last words. You have 120 seconds.
Hey, had a great time. Let's keep on doing this. I'm very thankful that you're still a Passport Bro. Still thankful you're doing this. Keep on working. Keep on doing well in the class. You're doing a great job. For my students who are in here, do those labs. Do those Armageddon labs. Those labs are set for you. They're there to benefit you. So not doing them deprives you of promoting your career. Okay? AI is coming, guys. Hope you enjoy it. That's it for me. I'm taking Chewbacca out in the Falcon. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
All right, fantastic. Peace out, good sir. Guys, we will see you tonight. You guys know TheoWAF. Thank you for supporting the stream. God damn it, we need it. Matter of fact, let me put my Cash App on the screen. Hey, somebody buy me a coffee if you please. It's almost 7 o'clock over here. While I prep for tonight's Sunday show. It's my Cash App on the screen. Yeah. Buy me a coffee. Maybe I'll go get me a freaking fish sandwich or something. You know what I'm saying? Wow, this turned out to be a very good show. All right, we're at the 1 hour, 58 minute mark. We got to get the goddamn hell up out of here. See you guys tonight.
You can't hide. My fortune said headshots only. Harry, Greg, LaShawn, Dave C, Dave M, no! You piece of shit. You killed my friend.
All right, what does the future hold? Maybe I can Pokemon this shit. Blast him or we're both gonna die.
Pull guard, pull guard.